Hi, I'm Rory Bolton, a 2006 Sauk Prairie graduate. I attended UW-Stevens Point and graduated with a Bachelor of Music in Piano Performance, along with a chemistry minor. I have a dual master's from Illinois State University in both piano performance and music therapy. And currently, I am a board certified music therapist working in hospice in the Milwaukee area with Horizon Home Care and Hospice. I think I always found a love for the stage because my grandfather, and we nicknamed him Ba in the family, he always encouraged me to get up on um the fireplace hearth, and he would give me a toy microphone and he said, sing me a concert. And I think it just kind of continues building from that point on. Music is so vast that you can do so many different take so many different directions with it, that if you have a passion for music and a love of the arts, go for it, go with all of your heart, because you will find your own path. At the end of my freshman year in high school, I had the privilege and honor of joining the Fab 50s live troupe that was produced, directed, pretty much everything by Karen Lure and Susan Holloway. And I was a part of the cast for 5 of the 8 summers. After its closing, I found a little bit of side fun, I guess you could say, because I got to say I ran off and joined the circus at Ringling Brothers Circus World Museum just for one summer, but was it exhilarating. Um, in between my bachelor's and master's degrees, I took some time off, kind of at a life crossroads junction, and found myself playing and entertaining on cruise ships. I had 3 contracts on the side. I am a professional freelancer in the Milwaukee area. You can find me often for weddings and corporate holiday events. That one's really hard to sum up, because in 3 years in middle school, where I first joined show choir and musicals and plays and solo and ensemble, and then carrying that and just building upon it and expanding at the high school level with magical dinners and marching band. I think I'm just one of those people that try to immerse myself in as much as possible while still trying to maintain his sanity in all of it. Um, I'm so grateful for all of the opportunities that were given to me, from getting to play Rhapsody in Blue my senior year with a small wind ensemble, which for a senior piano player was not the easiest of feats, and Miss Holloway knew that. We had to make several cuts that weren't quite ready in time, but she always continued to motivate me. Miss Lure, she saw so much potential in where I could take things. Always just had great, I want to say, motherly advice, um, and just believing in me, and for me being able to accomplish those goals. Music therapy is vast. Even within this professional clinical field, there are so many different directions and pathways to take. When I was going to school for music therapy at the master's level, we would have clinical rotations, which you would expect in a healthcare field. And every semester we would work with a different population. So by the end of my graduate studies, I had kind of dipped my feet in working with children in early intervention in an elementary setting. Um, I was at the juvenile detention center working with young adolescents that were just trying to get on the right path themselves and kind of find their voice. I had worked with geriatrics and older adults in sort of a well congregate setting. So those that were more cognitively able to respond appropriately to the context around them. And then probably one of the most unique opportunities was being in a hospital setting, but three different rotations of acute rehab, cardiovascular care, the CVC unit, and then pediatrics. And I would block out about maybe a 2 to 2.5 hour window. And what I actually am finding myself doing in hospice sometimes at our inpatient units is making rounds and go meeting with the nursing staff and offering any music for additional support in whatever ways that might be. So I was changing so frequently that you just really you kind of had to create your own toolbox of interventions and songs and repertoire to be able to pull from, because you were often walking in with a blank slate, not necessarily being prepared and writing a session plan like a teacher would. And as a hospice music therapist, it's very much the same. Even if you've seen someone multiple times over a series of months, years even, which is just amazing for a hospice patient. You're so excited to be able to continue making these amazing memories with them, allowing their loved ones to experience that while they're in the room with you or at the bedside, and getting to see the minute responses all the way up to full blown singing, tapping, rhythmic engagement. It's just incredible. I would I would probably say that, and if you ask any hospice music therapist, this is the most powerful experience that you could have in hospice, is to be present in the room when someone is passing, and for the music to be the transitioning medium in that case. Um, Again, I guess this was perfect timing because I had that experience happen this week, and each one is so unique. Never Two are never repeated in the same fashion. Family let me in with their mother and their grandmother, and closed the door, and so it was just the two of us. Um, the song that I had stumbled upon, the title of that song was "Home Where I Belong," and the words couldn't have been more perfect and perfectly suited for the situation, for her to make that final transition and ascension onto the next life. The last verse where I was singing and I kind of came out of my musical trance, I guess you could call it, um, was "Soon I'll be knocking at death's door, but I won't be homesick no more because I'll be home. I'll be home." And I just had a gesture. I placed my hand on top of her hand, and at that moment, I I was aware that she had passed, and so then, of course, a flurry of emotions just kind of comes over you in that moment, because this is a very private and intimate setting. Family wasn't there, so I had to kind of regain my composure so that I could be that grounded therapist again, for the family.